All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the season recap right now for our Madden series. You see our Super Bowl, how we lost. The Colts win their third Super Bowl all time. You look at the MVP, Patrick Mahomes, Coach of the Year from the Lions, Dan Campbell. Cowboys were not able to get any of those awards, but that's okay. We're building towards the future in a season that, you know, we had some ups and downs. We were 13-4, but we were not able to win back-to-back Super Bowls. So with that, we're going to look at staff moves. We're going to see into this offseason. You see some hot firings. It looks like Tomlin fired after 10 years, or fired after several years anyway, 14 years experience. Murphy fired from the Patriots. Carroll retired from head coaching from the Seahawks. They now hired Griffin Murphy, who was the head coach of the Patriots now over here. Mike Tomlin, now the head coach of the Bears, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That's very intriguing. We also have Nagy, now the head coach, was fired, of course. So some changes, certainly. The Broncos looking for a new coach as well. I mean, there's some interesting stuff there. I really like that a lot, seeing the different firings, hirings. I like to see that in our Madden games. But, you know, we're keeping our staff mostly intact. We're not going to be moving our staff around. We're going to be keeping our staff intact. Let's head to the re-sign period. We don't have, I don't think, much money we want the team to spend, really. I think everybody we signed we already have under contract. It's just a matter of, do we want to pick up anybody else? So looking at the final mock draft, one of the final two mock drafts, here's what they're saying. Again, we have our stars we're interested in, but here's what they're saying we're going to be at. Right now, the Cowboys, we have a pick downwards at 18th. They're thinking we're going to get a backup quarterback, Noah Rich, potentially. Or our second pick in the draft, which will be down at the very bottom here, Connor Nordberg, one of our community members here, halfback. So very intrigued to see. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll have to find out when we get to the draft. As the NFL draft is just concluded in real life, we're here today. Look at the 2022 retirees, as Tom Brady's gone after 23 seasons. He is going to headline this retirement class, as well as Smith retiring after 11 years. Griffin retires after 13 years. Some interesting Mason Crosby, Chris Harris, Julio Jones, Robbie Gould, Prater, Aaron Rodgers, ladies and gentlemen, retiring. He is leaving the NFL now. We also have various others, Blaine Gabbert, looking down the line. Nobody else that's really very exciting. But interesting to see a couple Hall of Fame quarterbacks retiring with Aaron Rodgers and, of course, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. So we're going to get to our prospects here, see who we potentially want to grab. Looking at the defense is an area I absolutely think we could grow further, is in our right end situation. So I do want to look around at a couple of these guys in the middle round drafts that are round 3 to 4 potentially, and lock them up as players we decide to scout. But yeah, we'll see what we can get done. Let's move ahead. Let's get into the free agency period and see if there's anybody we want to re-sign as well. Okay, so looking at our draft board now, we have some guys who we're paying attention to. Joseph Hardaway's one. Connor Nordberg. These are Cordell Wooden, Paul Combs, William Richard. He's a guy that's, you know, we probably should move him up the list a little bit here, because he's definitely a guy we're keeping an eye on at receiver. We'll see what we can do. I am looking to maybe add some other draft picks potentially. But let's look at the free agency side of things. We have a little bit of money we can spend, not a ton, as we have $25.33 million in cap space around available. And that's in cap room. And we're looking at our areas of need. We have, you know, on defense, right end is certainly an area we're looking at potentially adding in, offensive line depth. I think we're good overall. But let's look at the defensive side of things. I think we're good at our linebacker position currently. Safety, I'm happy there. I really am happy in most areas. I do think we can get a little bit better at our edge rushing potentially. Certainly think there's some spots there. So let's go look at right end, where we have Anae. This is absolutely the area we are the weakest. That and left end. Let's see where we are at left end. Left end, we still have Brandon. We have Nichols at 79 overall. So I think we're good. We're going to stick with Nichols over there at 79 overall, but right end is absolutely an area. We got Jeffrey Simmons, 26 years old, 90 overall. That's a guy that can come in, start day one, make a huge difference on our defensive line. Deshaun Hand, 77 overall. He could come in and immediately be a starting spot. You know, all these guys could be starting over an AE. So certainly keeping an eye on a couple of these guys to see potentially who we want to grab. Because, you know, defensive tackle, we have Oliver Odigizua as well. We need help there at right end to help things out. So I'm actually going to try to see if Simmons is a guy we can put a bid on. Okay, he wants 3 years. We're going to go 4. We'll go 9 million. We'll go a little bit more money in the, we'll make it $76.2 million. He's a scheme fit. He works well for us here. Let's see. Okay, so that's a pretty dang good offer. 109 total points. That puts us head over heels better than everybody else. Head over heels better than everybody else. And again, a huge star that could help this team out. I'm actually really happy if we can grab him. Overall, outside of that, they are thinking we maybe need... I think we're stacked everywhere else. I really do look at our roster right now, looking at our lineup and everything. I think we're good at quarterback right now with Dak. We have Cunningham behind us. We have Taylor behind us. We have Pollard. We will need a backup halfback, but I'm looking to draft that. I think we're good at receiver with what we have there in depth. I think we're also good here with our depth here at offensive line, and maybe potentially another tight end that we can grab. Defensively, it's really that defensive line. The right end, we don't have a lot of depth at. We have depth elsewhere. You know, I really do think we have a youthful core at this team. We're going to just try to lean in and heavily on that one choice. So let's see if we grab him. Let's see if he signs with the team. And we got an achievement. Big spender. Rare achievement join. We got him. We got him. So we have got and signed Jeffrey Simmons. He is now part of the team. Jeffrey Simmons now day one starter, added into the squad here, is now the newest Dallas Cowboy to help out as our right end. So the defensive line now is loaded. Absolutely loaded. That's going to leave Parsons not having to come off the edge very much at all now. Defense is looking pretty dang good. Pretty dang filthy. I mean, 88 overall defense, 89 overall offense. It's a really good team, y'all. And I'm very happy to see that. So with that, let's go ahead and let's go see the mock draft 4. Where are we standing heading into this? Right now, they're saying Marco Brown out of A&M will be the #1 pick to the Cardinals. Okay. Let's see who else where we're at now. Our Cowboys pick potentially. Noah Rich, they still say we'll grab at quarterback. We'll see. I don't know if exactly we'll do that. And then the last pick, Hunter Nordberg. They think we're going to grab him still. So our picks haven't changed in terms of that. That's fine. But let's go ahead and let's see if there's anybody else potentially we want to spend a little bit of money on. I think we're actually just going to save the money and focus on the draft. And we'll leave it at that. I think we're really actually in a good spot. We don't need to spend any more money there. So let's get to the draft. Let's see how we do here. All right, so we have a 5th-year option situation here, y'all. Do we want to pick up CeeDee Lamb's 5th-year option? I think we will. I'm going to pick up his 5th-year option because I think he's going to be a guy. Yes, I think we will. I think he's a no question big player. We are going to sign CeeDee's 5th-year option. He's going to stay with the team. Looking at free agency, if you want to see really quickly where some of the stars are going, I'll show you right now. Quentin Nelson with the Chargers. McLaurin going over to Minnesota. Kareem Hunt to the Jags. James Robinson to the Pats. Zadarius Smith to the Pats. Rodney Hudson, Steelers. Devin McCourty to the Miami Dolphins. Marquise Brown, Eagles. Iodonis to the Lions. Levante David over with the Bengals. And then our former punter, Jack Fox, going to be with the Patriots. He's a good one. I'm going to see if there's anybody else. Bunting Jr. Let's try to see if there's any other former Cowboys. Nobody else I'm really that interested in. That's fine. That's fine. We will need a kicker and a punter potentially. Let's see if there's any cheap ones available. Otherwise, we can just sign one out of free agency when the season's, rounding out. So looking at kickers, we don't have one. We could right now, if we wanted to, get Young Ho Koo, or we could get Will Lutz, Boswell. I don't want to spend a ton of money on kicker. So, I'm looking at somebody really cheap that's not that different overall wise. I'm looking potentially like right now, Santos speaks to me. He's a power guy. He can boot it, and he's older. I'd be fine grabbing him right now at a cheap deal, 1-year deal. I think we could grab him and be fine with that. But I'm actually going to save that for maybe the draft, or we'll just pick up somebody free agency. Jake Bailey, punter. Punter's not important to me as much because we don't punt. We focus mostly on kicking field goals in those situations, but we're not going to worry about it right now. We'll let that draft out. Let's get to the end of this thing. Let's get to the draft and see what we can add to this Cowboys depth. All right, the final mock draft heading into the draft. Most of it stays the same after workouts and everything. Most of this is all the same. Joseph Hardaway is now the pick they'll say we'll take at quarterback. That's a different pick. Originally, we were elsewhere on that. And then the last pick is still, they're saying right now we'll stick with Connor Nordberg is what they think. Of course, we're the one making the choices here. We'll see what happens when we get to that point. Free agency recap as it concludes. Again, there's a lot of guys still available that we can grab if we want. No big other changes elsewhere. So it was a pretty eventful free agency. We got one of the biggest stars out of it. But let's go ahead and let's get to the draft. All right, ladies and gents, we're here for the draft. Let's go ahead. Let's go pick by pick. Let's see how we do here. I want to see who goes number one. Number one pick, Marco Brown is out of here to the Cardinals. A right in out of A&M. Welcome to the squad there for the Cardinals. Next pick, number 2 pick's the Broncos. Sean Patterson out of Ole Miss, quarterback. Now the quarterback there for the Broncos. The Bears at number 3 will take cornerback Javon Beal out of Georgia Tech. Number 4, the Eagles in the division. Jerry Irvine, a left guard out of Michigan, going to help with the offensive line, protect there at the quarterback. Washington takes Earl Bernard out of Bama, the wide receiver, going to help out there the passing game. The Giants in the division take quarterback out of Alabama, Torrey Parker, maybe the new quarterback for that squad. And with that, we'll move on to our pick as we come in at number 18. Let's take a look-see at who's available. Who can we grab for our first pick in this draft? So Joseph Hardaway is absolutely still available as our backup quarterback. He was the guy originally they thought we maybe want to go with to back up Dak Prescott. We need another quarterback there just in case Dak goes down. Looking elsewhere, there's not a lot of other guys I'm dying that we have to get right now. We're pretty stacked everywhere. So Hardaway, welcome to the squad. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. He's got a trait. He's hidden dev trait. I'm stoked about that. We're gonna see how that pans out long term for us. But welcome to the team. We're gonna see how that pick turns out here later for us here. We're gonna see now what elsewhere we are. If we can potentially, what other draft choices do we have here? So look, I want to look at the. Let's skip ahead. Let's get to the next user pick, which is the last pick of the first round. I want to see who's still available. So let's see. Is Connor still around? We want him at running back. Is he here? Who's still around based on our board? He is. Connor is here. Everybody else has got drafted already. Dadgum. So Connor's, I think we're gonna grab him. He's the guy we were looking at. I'm gonna get him. He's a normal dev trait. We'll take it. He's got B carrying, pass block, kick return, awareness, but adds depth at running back, which is an area we absolutely do need. So we'll take that. So let's skip ahead to our next pick. See if there's anybody else left on our big board. We don't have a pick till number 31 again. Dadgum. Oh boy, oh boy. Can we trade this pick away potentially? Let's review offers. Let's see what we got. We could, for this year's draft, get a 3rd round and a 5th round. We could get a 3rd round and 4th round for next year's draft. That 3rd and 5th round's interesting. I think I may go with that. So we can get a 3rd round and a 5th round for this year's draft. Give up the 2nd round pick. I'm okay with it. We're going to do it. So we trade that pick away. We'll see what that does to us. We have a pick coming up pretty quickly. So here we are. Time to make our selection. 3rd round, 5th pick. We had 2 picks in the 1st round. On our big board, the only guy still remaining was Paul Combs. Looking at him, y'all know why I've been looking at him. He is fantastic in his agility. He's elite. Solid and everywhere else. He's one of the best one of the strongest out there. He's got B awareness, B tackle, B kick return. Solid guy. He's a 3rd or 4th round projection. So this is about the right time for him. I'm going to grab him. Paul Combs, whatever. You're going to come. It's okay. It's not a very flashy pick, I'll say that, but I think it's adding depth that we could use. Right? It's adding some depth we can use, bar none. So that's it for that round. Moving to the 4th round. Now this is where things get tough for us. Very, very tough for us. So looking around who's all available, you've got a guy that's still a 1st round talent here. You got, outside backer. You got another receiver here. Man, there's a lot of really interesting guys here. Bo Stroud. Man, oh man, oh man. And there's nobody I'm interested in left. My whole board's gone. So really we're just drafting what I think may work. And we have 2 4th round picks, 2 5th rounds, a 6th and a 7th. So I think we're okay over here overall. So let's look around here. Outside backer, we're a pretty good spot there. Receiver, potentially, is a guy we can look at here. So he's a top fit for the Chiefs and the Packers and the Patriots, excuse me. They say that he suffers from concentration drops, exceptional body control on the sidelines, fights for every single yard, great at snagging passes midair, avoids big hits following catches, wants to make every catch to the house. Okay, and typically avoids getting flagged. That's good. He didn't put up great numbers in the dash. One of the slowest receivers in the dash. So that's where some of this hurts. He's really good in acceleration and agility. He's decent with speed, decent with jumping. So he's kind of hurting us in those categories if we're looking at that. Another guy potentially at receivers, AJ Lawton. Similar situation. He's a little bit quicker than the guy we just looked at. A little bit quicker. Oh man. We need another tight end though. So if I could find a big receiver that we can move over to tight end, that'd be awesome. A guy like, let's find 6'5", 231, Gabriel Riley here. He is absolutely a guy we could look at potentially, that we could turn him into a tight end. He's physical. Let's look at him real quick. So he's a B catch in traffic, which is excellent. He runs a 4.48, 35-inch vertical. Not bad. So that's a guy I'm keeping an eye on. Let's also look at tight end here real quick. Best tight end available apparently on their board is Brian Springs. And he is 4.78, 32-inch vertical. He's 6'3", 248. He's 24 years old. Travarius Bernard, 6'4", 245. That's a guy we could look at. I'm actually kind of thinking maybe this guy down here, this physical guy right here, I think we're going to try to reach on him a little bit. We'll see how he can do. He's a hidden depth trade. What? Let's see what direction they going. That's what I'm talking about, baby. A steal potentially in the draft here in the 4th round. The Cowboys get Gabriel Riley. Look at that. Wow. He may be able to do some... We'll see what he can do. That's awesome. A steal maybe here in the mid-round. Day 3 draft pick. Let's see who else we can find. He may be a tight end for us. Potentially. He may be a tight end. Chad Allen is still around here. I do want to lean now towards the defense, I think. Maybe look at right tackle. We need another offensive lineman. We have a couple of different ones here. Let's go look at right tackles. See who's great, maybe. 6'7", 313. That's a big old boy. That's a big dude right there. Motor is always running hot, typically avoids getting flagged. As good. We'll grab him. I don't care. We'll take him. We'll take him. Okay, that adds some depth there for us. Now we're going to look ahead to the 5th round. And then pretty soon we're going to also look at special teams. So I'm actually pretty pleased with this draft thus far. Let's look at the tight end spot just to see. This is a guy they're saying maybe we should wait on, a potential undrafted. I'll keep an eye on him. You got Carlos Herbert. He's an Arkansas guy, apparently. It's awesome to see. Concentration drops, 6'3", he's poor agility, very slow. Very, very slow. That's not going to cut it for me. I'm going to take a risk here, Bernard. Normal trait. It's not terrible. Not the worst, I don't think. Let's get to our next pick. And now I think we're going to focus on our special teams. You know, we focused so much on defense with our trades last year and with free agency, what we did. I think we can safely look right now. We have 3 picks left. You know, those last 2 picks, I'll go kicker, punter. Let's find one defensive guy that can help us out. We can look potentially at linebacker. So let's see what the best available is on the board. You got Chad Allen, who is a 2nd to 3rd round projection, they said. What? And he's still around. From UNLV. Looks for massive hits. Struggles to find the ball in the air. Motor's always hot. He did not participate in combine or pro days, which may be contributing to why he's so low, why he's dropped. You got a guy here, Jameer Whittaker. That's not terrible. I'm going to grab him. We're going to see what he can do. Out of Richmond, we'll see if he can be a guy that can develop for us. So with our last 2 picks, we're going to get a punter and a kicker, and we'll call it quits after that, and we'll see what this team got for us. So all in all, I'm actually really pleased. We got 2 dev trait, guys. 2 dev traits. Let's find a kicker first. Best available kicker, Colin Sambucci. Sambucci? Is that his name? Okay. That's the only available kickers. How is he doing? Okay. Rises to the occasion in big spots. Okay. Whatever. We're going to get him because his name sounds funny. He's got 90 kick power. Okay. Colin Sambucci. Welcome to the Cowboys out of Minnesota, sir. Now we need a punter. Now I need a punter. Our last pick of the draft.
All right, on the clock now. The Cowboys.
Cowboys will select for their final pick of this 2023 draft. We will go with a punter. And I want someone fun here, maybe. Justin Friedman. Jason Westbrook. AJ Peak. Who's it going to be? 6'4", 192. AJ Peak. Top fits Cowboys. AJ Peak, welcome to the Cowboys, sir. 89 kick power. We got our team, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to see what we have here. So, all in all, I call that a successful draft for us. I thought we had a pretty good draft overall. Overall. Not too flashy, nothing too crazy. Looking at the draft recap, here we go. So, for the Cowboys, there you see it. There you see the squad. So, we're looking here at it. You can see how we're kind of at. Hardaway, our first round pick, number 18, 74 overall. He's got 85 speed at quarterback. He's a scrambling guy. He's going to be a guy that can help us there. 91 throw power. Throws on the runs at 88. Not bad at all. He's a normal dev trait. He's going to be backing up Dak Prescott. We'll see how he does there. But there's potential there in him. He's a hidden dev trait. Never mind. He's not a normal dev trait. So that's awesome. He may develop to be a star for us. We'll see if Dak's long-term or not. We'll see what goes. Connor Nordberg is our second pick in the first round. He's an elusive back. He has got 94 speed, 87 agility, 86 carry. Is he really good at kick returns? I hope he is. 83 on kick returns. We may see about that. Paul Combs, he was our third-round pick. We got 69 overall to start us off, a 92 speed. Man coverage at 65, play recognition 71. He's okay. It's not exactly a great pick there. 70 overall is what they call him. You got Gabriel Riley. He's got a dev trait. He's a wide receiver. He's a physical guy, 6'5", 231. Speed at 91, catching at 82. How is his blocking, potentially? Does he have any blocking ability? Trucking, spin move, vision. Run block, pass block, not very good, so he's not going to be able to do that for us. His injury at 99, though. This is a guy keeping an eye on because he could develop into a potential really good player. Samuel's not very good. 60 overall Bernard. Linebacker, this is one Whitaker. 65 overall. He's not terrible. See what he can do. Our kickers and punter, 67 and 64 overall, respectively. Not a horrible draft overall. In terms of, I want to look at other teams in the league and their drafts so you can see real quick. So looking overall in the entire NFL's draft process, the number one player in the draft was a 78 overall. That is Brown. Then 75 overall, Sean Patterson, ladies and gentlemen. He is over there with the Broncos. Beal, 79 overall. It's the best available so far we've seen. Keep going down the line here, see what else we got. Nobody's got past 79 overall, it doesn't look like. So some pretty good stuff overall. Yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased with what we've seen. I feel pretty happy about what we got with the Cowboys overall in our first 4 or 5 rounds. Very happy about it, matter of fact. So yeah, that's gonna do that. So looking at all of it, I think we're set where we're at. I think the Cowboys are built for a run potentially here. Adjust roster. I may look at this real quick. All right, we're taking a look at the preseason now as we are leading in, getting ready for season 3, which will be next episode. We went 2-1 in our preseason games as we won against the Chargers and Browns, lost against the Colts. I hope to see them again in the postseason, maybe in the Super Bowl again for a 3rd year in a row, maybe in the regular season, we'll see. But let's see how some of our players did. So the first preseason game for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he only played a series, maybe 2. He 1 touchdown, 5 for 5, not bad. And then this backup, Joseph Hardaway, who could ends up being an absolute stud, 3 passing touchdowns, 140 yards. He had 12 for 18 out there, solid as it comes. That's a very good job. Running the ball, Devontae Watford, 16 for 44 with a touchdown. Pollard, 8 for 27. Joseph Hardaway rushed for 4 for 23. Dak, 3 for 15 with a touchdown. And Nordberg, who was our other first-round pick, he had 3 for 11. Nothing else happening there. Receiving wise, Schultz led us in receiving, followed by Burks, McKeon, Drake London, who we'll hope to see big things from this year. 2 touchdowns in his first preseason game. Jody Fortson, Simi Fahoko. I hope he has a really good year for us. We'll see. Defensively, Chin led us in tackling, followed by Lewis Combs, Neal, Joseph, Jones Jr., and so on. Any picks in the game? Chin and Combs each with a pick. Nice to see. Any forced fumbles? Neal with a forced fumble. Very nice. So the defense coming up there, doing something there. Let's see what happened against the Colts now. Against the Colts, Carson Wentz, quarterback over there for them. Really quick, I want to see how Zeke did. 15 for 75 with a touchdown. Jesus, take the wheel. Colts are still dangerous. But Dak in his second game, 161, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Hardaway, 146, no touchdowns. Overall, both guys, if Dak gets hurt, I think Hardaway's going to be able to step right in. I really do. Nordberg, 8 for 36, no touchdowns. Pollard, 11 for 22 with 2 touchdowns. These 2 guys will be sharing carries. They're similar backs, but I'm hoping that works out well for us. We'll see. Schultz led us in receiving yet again. He had a touchdown. Burks, then Lamb, London, Cooper, Fahoko, Fortson, Nordberg, and so on. Defensively, standouts are Chen, Neal, Nichols, Jones Jr., and so on. Any sacks happening here? Nichols had a sack. Diggs and Parsons each came away with an interception. And yeah, so the Cowboys in that loss saw some good things, and they finished it out against the Browns. The Browns led by Baker Mayfield still in this game. His backups Lawton, Chubb, and Hall. Hall is a one-year pro. Interesting to see. For the Cowboys, though, Dak Prescott, this is the big showcase before the season starts. 3 touchdowns on 288 yards passing. He was tremendous, really. He had 19 for 24 overall. Hardaway in limited touches out there. He had 81 yards on 7 for 8 passing. So I like to see those numbers there. Pollard, 16 for 35 with a touchdown. Nordberg, 10 for 31 with a touchdown. Very nice to see. Receiving, Treylon Burks had 5 for 90 with a touchdown. Lamb, 5 for 77 with a touchdown. Where's Drake London? He didn't get any touches this game. It's an unfortunate thing to see. But overall, Cowboys mixing it up there. Neal led us in tackling yet again. Oliver with a sack. No interceptions that game. And no forced fumbles. So that's where we're at. We are leading now. We're going to see what the schedule looks like for the regular season before we end today's off-season video, as we are finally on the road for season 3 here, y'all. I think we had a great draft. What's the season goal? Y'all, we know what it is. Win the stinking Super Bowl is the goal we always have year in and year out. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to see your starting lineup for the Cowboys heading into this season? I'm going to show it to you right this second. So I'm going to take away the camera so you can see. There you see, you got Dak followed by Hardaway, Pollard, Nordberg with sharing carries. I think this could be a great combo. Receiving core is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have Lamb, Cooper, and Burks still his top 3, you know. But Fahoko got to get out there and get a chance to do some action, as is Drake London, who actually may pass him up sooner rather than later. And then Riley maybe he'll step up in the action. Defensively, keep an eye on the newest addition, Simmons, coming in on the right end. I'm hoping he can be a big asset for this team. Most of the defense elsewhere is all remaining the same. Special teams wise, Nordberg will be returning our punts and our kicks. Our kicking crews are both rookies as well. And coming out at slot receiver is Burke. Slot corner is Lewis. Everything else remains the same for this Dallas team. So overall, very solid stuff there. Looking at the schedule for our Dallas Cowboys here for season 3, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm welcoming myself back here. So our Cowboys, as you can see here, we're going to be taking on the Bills to open things up, then the Eagles and the Washington football team, then the Cardinals, the worst team from last year. We'll see if they're better this year. Then Washington, then the Vikings. Bye week in week 7, then the Rams, Dolphins, Seahawks, Chiefs in week 11, a Sunday night primetime game. Then Thanksgiving Day game, I believe, there against the Eagles, the Jets, the Patriots, the Giants, the Niners, the Bucks, and we finish out at home against the Giants overall. So I actually really like the schedule we have here. But ladies and gentlemen, share your thoughts, your feedback down below in the comment section for me. Let me know what y'all think about the roster, about the team. Overall, I don't think we lost too much. I think we gained a big asset in the offseason with Simmons coming in. And I think the draft, we did some damage. We got some good picks. I'm excited to see what we can do. But next episode, we begin season 3. We get started with things here, ladies and gentlemen, against the Buffalo Bills. But that's going to do it for us here today. Hope you had a good one. If you did, hit that thumbs up, comment below, keep it tuned here for more, and stay safe. God bless. See y'all back here in season 3, Bills Cowboys. We'll see you then.